I worked for the company for 3 years. COVID struck. We worked from home. And basically, I worked for a famous takeaway and restaurant company. And they decided to sell their equity stores. And over 50% of my role was put into the danger zone of possibly being made redundant. As it turned out, after about 2.5 months of it, after being announced to the company, it was confirmed to me that yes, I was going to be in the 2P package. But the role that they offered me wasn't the role that I was doing, and the journey to wasn't convenient for me. So therefore, I was put into being laid off, and which I took, and yeah, I just got on with it. Sort of looking around to see what the jobs were out there. Nothing was really appealing to me, and that's when I came across on the job sites your program. So haven't looked back. Well, first off, I listened to your video, and that was a good step. I then spoke with somebody who was already in the process. Well, not in the process, they were a VA, to get their sort of view on it. And I spoke it through with my best friend, and basically her support was brilliant, and she was like, well, just go for it, just give it a go. So I decided to give myself a year to sort of see if it worked. So I did the program, and I was doing the program in the evenings, weekends, and I managed to get through the program within a couple of months, without overwhelming myself, because there was so much information on the program. It's as you advised, doing it in the order it came, and doing it in what I called bite sizes. So it didn't overwhelm me. Whereas I've heard other people, since I've joined VA groups on like Facebook, you hear them being overwhelmed and everything. And to me, your program takes that out of it. I know there's VAs that, they work a lot, all hours God sends, and, but that wasn't for me. I just wanted something I can retire in 7 years' time. And to me, it was something to provide the roof over my head, food in my belly, and a lifestyle that I wanted. And it gave me that good balance, because I also have family commitments, like a lot of people. So I was able to sort of have the hours that work for me. And it amazed me that, not only that I have achieved that, but how much happier I have been because of it. And there's no office politics, no sort of having to think what you say before you say something to somebody, and it was nice that when a decision had to be made, it was my responsibility to make that decision. Whereas, as you know, in the corporate world, you could be hanging around for ages for somebody to make that final decision. And I'm one of those that once I make my mind up about something, I just want to get on with it. So it was lovely to finally be able to do that. Basically, it was the step-by-step guide I liked. I had no clue how to set up a business. It was a case of I looked around, and when I saw your video, I just knew it was going to be like somebody holding your hand virtually. And I needed that, and also somebody to give you a kick up the backside when was needed as well. because I can need that sometimes too. I was excited. It was a new challenge. I enjoy challenges. It was frightening because it all laid in my hands. So it was a case of I either succeeded or I didn't. I had a good motivator because while I was still employed, I acquired a little dog. And because we'd been told by the company we wouldn't need to go back in the office, and I acquired little Sky, and he was sitting right here, which is why I keep looking over there. And it was a case of I'd made a commitment to her. So I also knew when I was looking for something, I had to have something that wouldn't take me from home, that I'd be able to work from home, or if I did, it'd only be like 1 day a month, something like that. Yeah. So, and it was a case of from reading the information I had, your program sort of made me have faith that I could do that. How to set a company up, without a doubt. I've got over 35 years administration, so that side of it didn't worry me at all. I know what I was capable of, but I didn't know how to set up a business, what insurance to have in place, what things to make me legal. So that was priceless. Yeah. I think because I wasn't expecting anything, because it was a route I'd not gone before, I didn't have expectations. It was more a case of revelations as I went through the program of how to do something. And it's like, oh, you can do that sort of thing, you know. And yeah, it was more realization of what can be done. I would say the imposter syndrome that you mentioned. Um, it's a case of you have wobbles, you do have wobbles, but you've got to realize and I did that those wobbles actually motivated you to go forward because you weren't going to be defeated by it. And it gave you the confidence to keep going. And it was a case of if I was going through the program and it was a more intense part of it, like when the legal parts of it come into it, I just did it in smaller stages, rather than read it and try and implement it, so it wasn't overwhelming. So yeah. I've got a really good circle of friends, so I can honestly say no, they didn't. I don't have a big circle of friends, but as I always say, quality is better than quantity. And they all supported me throughout. And it was like when I got my first client, for instance, it was like, don't know why you're surprised you've got a client. It's like, we knew you'd do it, you know, and it was their faith in me. And there was always their doors open that, you know, if I had a wobble, then they used to say, just talk, you know, because a couple of my friends are business people, owners, so they know what it's like to set up a business, and the support was there. So like, for instance, when I was deciding on my logo, my friend's husband's very creative, and I did a very rough drawing of what I wanted, and he simplified it. And then when I had the website built and I used your people, they simplified it even more. And it, to me, it's bang on. So yeah, it was what I wanted: simple, straightforward, no fuss, such as myself. When I was getting time that I could, because I used to feel guilty taking time out. but I don't anymore, because I know it's a case of, if I don't do it at a certain time, I'll do it at another time. And my clients understand that, because I just keep them informed if, say, something comes up, because as I say, I've got family commitments. So if I have to go to hospital, for instance, and if I'm normally doing the clients work at a specific time, I'll just say to them, you know, I'm going to be out for this time, but I'll get onto it. And, you know, because I always communicate with them, they're happy with that. And also, I would say, when I started taking, for want of a better word, my full wage that I wanted to take each month, that was a great sense of achievement, that I wasn't having to rely on my savings. Yeah. I danced in the kitchen. That's exactly how I reacted. I always have something on in the background, either the TV or the radio. To me, that helps with that working on your own, but wanting sort of a vibe around you. And yeah, I do remember when the penny just seemed to drop, and there was a song on the radio, and I was in the kitchen making a cup of tea, and yeah, I was dancing in the kitchen. My friends have all commented the same thing: how chilled out I am, how relaxed I am, that I'm not stressed like I used to be when I was in the employment world, and just how much more content I seem to be. So yeah, yeah, and they're right. It is. It's a lovely feeling. It really is. As they say, you're the boss of your own destiny. First and foremost, don't make the redundancy feel you're failed or make you lose confidence. I've known so many people in that position that doubt themselves, their abilities, because often going through being laid off, redundancies, whatever you want to call it, people take a knock to their confidence. I'm fortunate insofar as I am a great believer in what I know and what I can do. Many years experience of that have vouched it for me. So I would say to people, first and foremost, don't lose your confidence. If you do, find that good friend that will always bolster you, because at the end of the day, it's not your fault. You know, it's just a circumstance of life. So brush yourself off and go with a challenge. And I would just say, take a leap of faith, which is what you need and what your friends will help you do, and just go for it. And at the end of the day, it's just another chapter in your life. And, you know, you've just got to go with it. As one of my favorite thoughts is always, life throws you curveballs. It's how you throw it back that counts. And I live by that. Yeah. I couldn't have been where I am without your program. I honestly couldn't. So yeah, totally believe in it.